Okay, so first command to clear the output screen, command used is the clear. You can type a clear to clear your window terminal so that the previous history of the commands will get deleted. Okay, and you will get a new fresh screen. Okay, so this is the clear command. Now next command that is required to many times required is to check the list of files and directories present in your current working directory. Okay, so the command which lists all the files in the current working directory is a ls command. So ls is a short form of the list. So ls is the command which will list all the files and directories in your current working directory. So in my current working directory, I have these many files. Okay. Now, if you want to, now this command comes with different options. So simply typing ls, it will display the list of files and directories. Now it will come with different options. For example, say if you want to check the hidden files in your system, so we can type the command as ls minus a. Let me show you the output of first ls command. So these are the different files, and now I will show you the output of the hidden commands, hidden files, ls minus a. So a stands for the all. So it will list all the files, including the files in the current working directory, including the system files as well as including the hidden files. Okay, now we can see the output of both the commands. Now you are observing that some of the files are starting with dot letter, which were previously not visible. So all these are the hidden files, dot, dot. Okay, so let me show you the first output also. So this is the plain output of ls command. And you can see there is no any file which is starting with a dot, which is starting with a dot. Okay, so this is the output of ls command. There is no single file which is starting with a dot. So whenever you type ls minus a, it will show you some of the files and directories which are starting with the dots. So this is the hidden file or a system file. These are the hidden files. So ls minus a option will give you the list of all the files and directories, including system files as well as hidden files. Is it clear? Okay, now next option that we are going to study is a ls minus l. So ls minus l will list the files and directories, but the list will be a long list. List will be a long list. So L stands for the long list. L stands for the long list. So ls minus l, you can observe now the output is somewhat like this. Let me. Okay, so there are many files. What shall I do? Okay, let me create one directory. For creating a directory, command is mkdir. Say command practice. Okay, so command to create a directory is a mkdir. So mk means make directory. And to load that directory, command is cd. cd means change directory. Okay, now we are in this directory. So here if I type ls, here if I type ls minus a, there are no files as of now. So it is not showing any list of the files. Let me create one directory here, mkdir, say touch. Okay, now and one file, say touch a b c ls. Okay, now don't worry about the previous commands that I have typed. I just want to show you the demonstration of ls minus l. So that commands we are going to learn later. So first focus on ls command. So ls minus l or ls. ls command is showing this output and ls minus l is showing this output. Okay, now name of the files are same. You can see here the name of the files in ls command is abc, which are files, and touch, which is a directory. Now here the same file names are given a, b, c, and touch, but along with the file names, some detailed information about these files is given in ls-l output. So ls-l stands for the long list of the files, long list of the files and the directories. Now let us understand this output, ls-l. So this first few characters are like dash, rw, r dash. Here one more additional character are added as d and x here. So basically the characters are r, w, x, and d. R, W, X, D, and a dash. These are the five characters here, which are used. Can you tell me the meaning of R, W, and X? Yes, somebody? If you can guess the meaning in terms of files. बाकी काही नाही. X म्हणजे execute. So X stands for the execute. So basically this first column represents the permissions associated with this file. Permissions associated with the file in terms of RW X. So here X is absent means this file have only read and write permission. Now this RWX is repeating. You can observe here RWX. Then again it started with R. W is absent, X. Then again it has started with R, W absent, and X. So there are three kinds of the permissions. There are three kinds of the permissions here. So first set of permissions are for the user or owner, whoever have created this file. So this RW dash means the owner have read and write permissions to file A. Owner have read and write permissions on file A. The next set of permissions are for the group owner or group. So group have the permissions as read only. So it doesn't have the write permission and doesn't have the execute permission. So it has only read only permissions. And third set is for the others. Third set is for the others. So others have no permissions because you know that Linux is a multi-user operating system. Linux is a multi-user operating system. That means multiple users can use this operating system collaboratively. So that's why the in Linux the groups are created and the groups have the different set of permissions. Others have a different set of permissions, and the owner have different set of permissions. So three permissions here. First set is for owner of the file. Second for the group, and third for the others. So remember this. Okay. Now this is for RWX. Now what is this D here and what is this dash here? Can you guess? What is D stands for and dash stands for? This dash is for A, dash is for B, dash is for C, but D is for touch. So can you guess what D means? What does D means here? Any guess? D stands for? Okay, let me give you a clue about the commands that we had typed. Now it is not showing the history. Okay, so these are the commands which we had typed previously. So touch ABC. So this ABC files we had created, and mkdir touch. So touch named directory we have created. So this one is a directory. These are the files. Now can you tell me what is the meaning of dash and what is the meaning of D? What does dash means and what does D means? Yes, exactly. D means a directory here. D means a directory. So this touch is a directory. So that's why here you have got letter as D. And these are the simple files. These are the simple files. So can I show you the folder which we have created? Yes. So this ABC are the simple files and touch is a directory. So that's why it is showing a dash for the files and D for the directories. Okay, along with this minus A, minus L, there are many options available with ls command. So let me tell you at the start the command by which we can take help. So the command is man. Man stands for the manual. MAN, man stands for the manual. So it will display the complete manual about the commands or system calls in a Linux. So if you want any help and you don't have the internet, then you can use this utility called as the man to get help of some commands. So man and ls, by typing this, you will get a complete help of this ls command. So here you can see a minus a, which stands for all, which indicates do not ignore entries starting with a dash. Similarly, minus a option, minus dash dash author option. So if you want to search list the files with a particular author only, then you can use this option. Minus b escape character, dash dash blocks, dash size, then dash b ignore backups, dash c with minus lt sort by and show c time, that is time of last modification of the file status information. So it will display the list of files sorted with the timestamp which is recently modified. Minus C lists entries by columns, color, minus D for directory. If you want to check only your directories, you can use minus D option. So like that, there are n number of options, many options here. And depending on your use, you can use one of these options. So minus L, minus A are mostly used options so that we have studied. Okay, so you can see here there are almost more than 40 to 50 options are there with the ls command. Okay, so this is complete help of ls command. So similarly, you can type get a help of any command. So if you want to get a help of clear command, actually it doesn't require any help, but still it has a manual of clear. So there are options with a clear command also. So like this, you can check a manual of any command with the help of man command. So what command we have studied? We have studied ls command. Now next we will be studying how to create a file. How to create a file. So command to create a file is touch command. Okay, so we will create the files using a touch command. So touch command creates the empty file. Let us name this file as test. Okay, now how you will check whether this file is created or not? Yes, someone? Now I want to check whether this file is created or not. So which command you will use? I have created one file named as test using touch command, and I want to confirm that whether this file is created or not. So what I should do on the command prompt? I can go in the folder and check whether it is created or not, but here it is created. But I want to check at the command prompt only whether the file is created or not. So what should I do here? Yes, anyone? Yes, exactly. You have to type a ls command. So let us type a ls command and check whether file is created or not. So yes, the file is created here. Okay, so by using the touch command, you can create a empty file. There are no contents into these files. Okay, now this touch also can be used to create the multiple files by using the more than one argument. So let us create these files, test3, test4. So by using this also, you can create the different files, providing the multiple file names with a single command and check whether these are created or not. Yes, these are created. Okay. So one command that we have studied to create a empty file. To create a empty file, name of the command is touch. Now next. Okay, so these commands are available in the lab manual. I will share the lab manual but As syllabus is not declared, we don't know whether that lab manual will be applicable as it is to your batch also or not. But this will be a part of practical definitely. The commands and shell scripting, basics of shell scripting. So I will share the lab manual with you and you can practice those commands using Ubuntu. And these commands will run in the Linux environment only. If you try to run these commands in DOS, in Windows, then these commands will not work. Because DOS have different set of commands and Linux have a different set of commands. Okay. Now next command is to create a directory. So mkdir is the name of the command used to create a directory. So, hello. So mkdir dir1 will create a empty directory. So here one directory is created. Hello, am I audible? Okay. So this directory one is created here. So similarly, like a touch command, you can create multiple directories by providing more than one argument like this. So these are the some of the files and directories that we have created till now. Okay, now it might be clear to you. Okay, now next command related to files is cat command. Now this is a very handy command inside the Unix because it has the different purposes. First purpose of this command is you can create a file using this command. First purpose is you can create a file using this command. Second purpose is you can display the contents of the file. You can display the contents of the file using the same command. And third purpose is you can redirect the output of one command as input to the next command. That means you can copy contents of one file into some another file. So three purposes this command can satisfy: creating a file, displaying a file, and copying the contents of one file into the another file. Okay, let us understand the use of this command. Okay, first purpose, to create a file. So cat, and this is called as the redirection operator, or we can say it as a right angle bracket. But mostly in Linux, we will call this as a redirection operator. In mathematics, we can call this as a right angle bracket, but in Linux, we will call it as a redirection operator. So cat, and say, let us name this as cat demo file. Okay. Now, whenever you will use this command with a redirection operator, it will ask you to enter some text into the file. So let us enter some text into this file. This is a demo file created to demonstrate use of cat command. This command will create a file and will write contents into the file. Am I right? Okay, now these contents we have typed. Okay, now how to exit from this? How to exit from this? So for exiting, you have to type Control plus D. These are the two characters. So you don't have to write this Control plus D here. I have just shown here which keys you have to press for escaping from here. So what exactly you have to do? You have to press a control key, and at the same time, when you are pressing the control key, you have to press one more key, that is D key. So control plus D will exit you from this mode. Okay, so we have created this cat demo file here. Okay, now I want to check whether the contents, I want to check the contents of this file, whether whatever we had written into the file, whether actually it is saved or not. So to do this, use the same command, that is cat, but without the redirection operator. Cat and cat demo file, so it will display you the contents of the file. So this is a demo file created to demonstrate use of cat command. This command will create a file and will write contents into the file. So this was the output. Okay, so two purposes we have studied using the cat command. First purpose was creating a file. Second purpose, displaying a file. Now third purpose of cat command is you can copy the contents of one file into the another file. So how to do this? So type the command cat from which file you want to copy. So we have contents into a single file, that is cat demo file. And now we want to copy these contents into a test file. So this is the commands or syntax of the command by which you can copy the contents of cat demo file into a test file. So do you want to check the contents of test file first? So contents of the test file are empty. That means it doesn't have any contents. And contents of cat demo file are this. Now we want to copy these contents into test file. So this is the command. So cat demo file will display the contents of the file, and so output of this command is contents of cat demo file, and this output will be redirected. Why it is called as the redirection operator? Because output of the first command, it redirects to the next argument. Next argument is the name of the file. So it will redirect output of this command, output of this file to the test file. Okay, now how we will check the whether it is copied or not? Yes. Now which command we should use to check whether the contents of cat demo file are copied into a test file or not? Yes. Which command we can use to check whether the contents of this file are copied into this file or not? Yes, anyone? Yes, cat test will display the contents of the test file, and then we will confirm that the contents are copied. Okay, so you can check cat test is giving the same output as cat demo. Both the files have now the same contents, and we have copied it from the one file to the another file. Okay, so is it clear? Cat command. Cat command is used to create a file, used to display a file, and used to copy the contents of one file into another file. Okay. Now there is one specialized command for copying the contents of one file into the another file. That command name is a copy. So either you can use a cat command or you can use a cp command. So cp stands for the copy. So let us now copy the contents of test file into a test1 file. So let me display the contents of test1 file first. So it doesn't have any contents, and contents of test file, it have these contents. Okay. Now we want to copy the contents of test file into a test1. So what command I should use? cp, source file, test, destination file, test1. Okay, now check whether it is copied or not by using displaying the contents of test1. So test1 have the same contents as test file. Is it clear? Okay, now cp commands comes with a -i option. -i option, because what happens whenever we copy one file into the another file, at that time the previous contents of that file gets overwritten, and if we don't use this -i option, then it will override the contents without asking you. So if you want to interactively copy, then this minus I option will work. So minus I stands for the interactive copy. So if you use minus I option, then what output you are getting? So CP command is asking whether you really want to overwrite test2 file or not. So I will say yes here. So if I say yes, then the test2 will have the new contents now, this. Now let us try the same minus I test2, which are the contents. Try to copy it into test3 and say invalid. Sorry, command name is a CP. So it is asking, I will say no here. And if I say no, let us check the contents of test3. So test3, it doesn't have made a copy operation. Okay, so this is the CP command, which is used to copy the contents of source file into a destination file. Now one more command, let us use this command as MV command. Okay. So the use of MV command is to rename a file. Use of MV command is to rename a file or move files from one location to the another location. First use is to rename a file or move one file into the move the files from one location to the another location. So first we will understand how to rename a file. So let us start. We want to rename a test file with say renamed file. Okay, now let us check the test file, which is now not present, but in place of test file, there is one file. We can see the name of that file is a renamed file, and check the contents of that file. So previously it has the contents. Sorry, contents of which file? Renamed. Test file is gone now. So this is the contents of renamed file, which were the contents of test file. So MV command you can use for renaming a file. Also, MV command can be used to move files from one directory to the another directory. So let us try to move files A, B, C to which directories? Let us say touch directory, ls. So you can see now the files which were present previously ABC are now not getting displayed. What command we have used for moving the files? MV, ABC and touch. Touch is the name of directory. Here touch is the name of directory. It is not a command. Understand it. We should not have named this as a touch, but let it be. Okay, so MV is the command which is moving files named as ABC to a directory named as touch. Okay, now how I can check whether these files are actually moved to the directory or not? Yes. I want to check whether ABC are present into touch directory or not. So how I can check it? Yes, anyone? How can I check whether the ABC files are present into touch directory or not? Which commands I should use? Yes, anyone? Okay, command used is the ls only. ls. Which directory you want to check? Touch / Am I right? You want to check the contents of touch directory, so you can type ls touch /. Okay, let me give you the other options of ls commands, how to use this. So if you want to check all the file names or directory names that starts with a particular letter, let us say you want to display only the files which starts with letter T. So you can say here T star. So it is showing you test, test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4, and a touch directory in which ABC files are there. So all these files and directories are starting with letter T. Or let us name this as ls d star. So it is showing the 4 directories: directory 1, directory 2, directory 3, and directory 4. So like this, there are many combinations that you can make. Or if you want to check the files starting with anything but ending with 3. So star 3 means starting with any set of characters, but ending character must be a 3. So here you can see test which is ending with 3 and directory which is ending with 3. So like this you can make use of this command. So this combinations you are going to learn in detail in the theory of computation. While you are studying the machines, which machines? Finite state machines, FSMs. At that time, you are going to study the state transitions, and in state transitions, these characters are mostly used. Star, plus, question mark. Okay. So, which command we were studying? We were studying the mv command, and we have moved some files from home directory to touch directory. So these 3 files are moved. Another way by which you can move or check the contents of touch directory is you can load the touch directory. So for loading the touch directory is cd and name of the directory. So cd touch. Now you can see the previous path is up to command practice folder. Now if you type cd touch, then what will happen? It will now your current working directory is a touch. Now you can use ls command directly here, and it will show the contents of the directory. Okay, now how to return to the previous directory? Yes, anyone? We have used the DOS. I want to return to the previous directory. That means I want to remove this touch from here and want to return here in this directory. So what command I should type? I think no one have used the DOS. Yes, cd dot dot. cd dot dot is the command used in the DOS, but here it is a little variation. Instead of cd dot dot will not work here. So it is giving the error command not found. So little change to this command: cd space dot dot. cd space dot dot. So cd dot dot will return you to the previous directory. Sorry, cd dot dot is not a command, but cd space dot dot is the actual command. You can use this cd command, cd slash will take you to the home directory. Now you are in the home directory of the user. Now if you want to load again to the same directory, what was my path? cd slash home, then command practice, I think. cd home ls yes, cd ls cd ls, and if you want to check your path, you can type here command as pwd. So pwd stands for the present working directory. So always you should be knowing where you are working. So or at which place you are at the current time. So to check that, command is pwd, present working directory. It is /home /avinash /command practice. These are the names of the folder where currently I am working at. So I think this is enough for today's practical. Is it? We'll learn more commands.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Let me share an attendance link for both the batches.